Have you ever wondered why, no matter what you do, there's always this feeling that it's not enough, that you're not enough? You achieve something, and for a moment, there's a flicker of pride. But then it's gone, replaced by doubt, by that quiet voice whispering, "You could have done better." This feeling of never being enough isn't a flaw in you. It's a wound, invisible but deep. And like most wounds, it didn't appear overnight. It often begins early. Maybe it was a parent who praised your grades, but not you. Or a teacher who celebrated the best and ignored the rest. Maybe it was the silence when you needed validation the most. Or the comparison to a sibling, a cousin, someone else who always seemed to shine just a little brighter. Slowly, subtly, you learned something dangerous. That your worth was tied to what you do, not who you are. And the worst part? The world kept reinforcing that lie. Every gold star, every like, every, "Why can't you be more like?" It all became evidence. Evidence that being yourself just wasn't quite enough. And so you adapted, you strived, you learned to wear masks, to push harder, smile wider, pretend longer. But inside, that emptiness stayed. Like a shadow, always a step behind. You see, the feeling of not being good enough isn't proof that you're broken. It's proof that you were taught to measure yourself by a standard that was never yours to begin with. And now, you carry that weight. But here's the truth that no one told you. You were never supposed to feel good enough. Because the system was never designed to let you feel that way. If you've spent most of your life chasing worth, have you ever stopped to ask, who benefits when you never feel enough? Because someone does. Think about it. When you believe you're not attractive enough, what do? You buy products. You chase beauty standards. You compare yourself endlessly. When you believe you're not successful enough, what happens? You overwork. You burn out. You spend your life climbing ladders you don't even remember choosing. The truth is harsh, but simple. There is an entire system built to keep you doubting yourself. Marketing thrives on your insecurities. Social media amplifies your comparisons. Even parts of education reward performance over self-worth. You've been trained to believe that enough lives outside of you. In the next purchase, the next milestone, the next follower, degree, compliment, title. But every time you reach it, the goalpost moves. That emptiness doesn't shrink, it grows. Because the system was never designed to satisfy you. It was designed to need you unsatisfied. An insecure person is a predictable consumer. A self-doubting person is an obedient worker. Someone who constantly seeks external approval is easier to manipulate, easier to control. That's not conspiracy. That's psychology, and it's intentional. But here's the secret they don't want you to realize. The moment you stop chasing validation, the system loses power. The moment you start asking, who told me I'm not enough, and why did I believe them? You begin to take your power back. By now, you've probably realized something. That voice in your head? The one that says, you're not smart enough. You're too much. You'll never make it. It sounds like you, but it didn't start with you. It was built, piece by piece, through moments you might not even remember. Every time you were compared, every time you were told to sit down, be quiet, do better, look different. Your mind recorded it, not just as memory, but as identity. Over time, those external judgments became internal rules. And now, your own brain polices you. You criticize yourself before others get the chance. You reject yourself before the world can. Not because you hate yourself, but because somewhere deep inside, you believe criticism keeps you safe. If you're always fixing yourself, you can't be rejected. If you're always on guard, you'll be accepted. Right? Wrong. Because that voice, the inner critic, is never satisfied. It doesn't want progress. It wants perfection. And perfection is a prison. Here's the truth. That voice isn't your enemy, but it's also not your truth. It's a defense mechanism. It's your brain trying to protect you from past pain by controlling the future. But it's doing so with outdated rules, written by people who didn't fully see you. You were not born thinking you weren't enough. You learned it. And what's learned can be unlearned. So here you are, after all the noise, all the pressure, all the voices telling you you're not enough. You're still standing. And that means something. Because the truth is, you were never meant to earn your worth. You were born with it. But somewhere along the way, the world convinced you to forget that. It told you to trade authenticity for approval, joy for productivity, wholeness for perfection. But here's what most people never learn. You don't need to do more, be more, prove more. You only need to remember who you were before the world told you who to be. Healing doesn't mean you'll never hear that critical voice again. It means you stop believing it. It means you learn to sit with yourself without needing to fix, improve, or apologize. Because you don't need to hustle for your worth. You don't need to climb some invisible ladder. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to be whole, right now, as you are. Feeling enough isn't a destination. It's a decision to stop outsourcing your value to a world that profits from your self-doubt. And maybe it starts small. You speak a little kinder to yourself. You forgive the past versions of you who didn't know better. You stop waiting for permission to feel worthy. And instead, you give it to yourself. Because here's the truth no one can take from you. You were always enough. You just forgot. But now, you're starting to remember.